I was very violent at the time. I've been stabbed a couple of times. There was a lot of violence, and I remember thinking like, either I'm gonna kill someone and go to jail, or I'm gonna get killed. I went into yoga as a way of finding a different way to channel the energy.
My name is Eddie Sтерn. I'm a yoga instructor. Stretch the arm. If I see a place where yoga would be helpful and someone invites me to do something, I say yes. That's all there is to it.
My name is Abdi. I'm an acupuncturist and a therapist, and I've been trained as a shaman, and I mix those three things together for my work. I live 3 days a week in New York City, 4 days a week upstate New York, about a couple hours from New York City. I recently wrote this book named Shadows on a Path. It's about my experience in the last 29 years as a healer, about the addictive system that we live in. I was a drug addict myself when I was younger. I got into acupuncture treating drug addicts. So I started practicing martial arts with judo. I was, I think, 14, 15. I don't really spar or fight anymore, but they're more meditative. They're actually similar to yoga in some ways, that they're postures that you hold for extended periods of time to build up energy, and then you move them. So they're very meditative, but actually very body-centered. I was born in Iran. My parents were Iranian. I came to New York in 1977. I was 15 years old. And from a place where these countries, you literally watch the grass grow for fun. And you can imagine New York City, this totally frenetic, unbelievable speed. So for a couple of years there, I sort of was trying to find my feet in it, and loved it, scared, confused. When I hit 18, I sort of lost the plot. But I came across hard drugs, and from 18 to 21, it was a really rough time. I mean, cocaine and heroin habit, basically speedballs, and pretty hardcore, going from having fun to full-on painful, watching a lot of friends die. I was very violent at the time. I've been stabbed a couple of times. There was a lot of violence, and I remember thinking like, either I'm gonna kill someone and go to jail, or I'm gonna get killed. And it's gonna be one of those two. There's no half measures here. I wasn't somebody who backed down. So for me, hitting bottom was losing a couple of friends back to back to back, having this realization that I'm either gonna die through the violence of the drugs or actually die from the drugs. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
I've known Abdi since, I think, 94, 95. When I met Abdi, he was definitely living quite dangerously close to the edge, whether it was, fast motorcycles or drugs or violence. Exhale, come right to the side.
I went into yoga as a way of finding a different way to channel the energy. And I must say, it was really helpful. It did help calm the nervous system down. You're feeling your body, you're breathing. We never feel our body. We never breathe. The only time in our culture we really do that is maybe at the point of orgasm, and that's even unlikely because most people are so checked out. We're never here. So the yoga was really helpful in that it forced me to pull myself into the body. The part where the yoga was really helpful for me that I actually picked up again was the pranayama part of yoga. And pranayama is basically controlled breathing that centers the body-mind, controls the mind.
I think Abdi is a very good healer. I think he's a very insightful person. I think he can really see into nature and the places where people are a little bit stuck. He isn't necessarily what you would think of as a healer, because he also is a really good fighter, and he likes knives, and he races motorcycles across the desert. So he's a little bit of a paradox. And I think that a lot of the good healers and a lot of the good spiritual teachers, they don't live in this preconceived mode of what should a healer be.
Being in the moment is really the gift of what I love in my life right now, this joy of being alive. I've never had, as a child, the joy. It was always this anxiety, this fear, future, past, which is all of us. So the beauty right now, post-addiction, in this process of transformation is really every moment being sacred and every moment being really special and really tasting it, not waiting for that thing to happen right now, and now, and now.
Teenagers are easy. You let them lie down on their backs, they fall asleep, and they think that yoga is the greatest thing in the world. Anytime you let a teenager lie down and do nothing for 10 minutes, they love you. It's a funny crew of pretty hip, young, urban kids all listening to their iPods and carrying their yoga mats on their heads, and they're excellent kids.